G'day friends, welcome to another Page in 10 video for the series. I think we did this in episode 15. I hope I'm not wrong about that. No, 16? 16, 17, 18, 19. I think this is 16. Okay, anyway, doesn't matter. We've done this. I thought today's lesson in 10 minutes, not really lesson, but like a little page we're going to do together, would be inspired by this. I'm actually going to abstract this, and we're going to look at some of the things I think of when I try to abstract something. I don't do this really often, and I certainly don't usually use references to abstract anything, but I thought it would be fun just to give it a go and see what we could come up with. I don't even know if we'll need 10 minutes, but I've just got a bunch of stuff sitting at my desk, and I thought, you know what, let's just see what happens. So if you have this, turn to that page or just have it handy for you so that you can reference your own, because maybe there were choices you made that you might want to abstract in the same way, or you can just watch this and we can do it together. Either way, we're going to spend 10 minutes getting active in our journals today, and I think that's a success if we just start. Well, I mean, if we do 10 minutes, I think that'll be the success. Benchmark for success expectations today is just finishing the 10 minutes. Start timer for 10 minutes. Oh, no, she didn't listen. Start timer for 10 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Siri. Okay, so I want to grab, I'm going to use a ballpoint pen, I think. For abstracting, basically I'm just looking to emphasize or, kind of like enlarge or over exaggerate or under exaggerate what I can actually see. So for me, this has a huge head, so I'm just going to really exaggerate that. And I'm not going to care if the shape isn't the same. In fact, I kind of want to wonkify the shapes a little bit. I don't know, that doesn't make sense, but abstract them, right? So I'm going to use that big head idea, and I'm not going to work in the same order, I don't think. I'm just going to start with these triangle dresses. I've got the three triangles next to each other, so again, I'm going to try and make this the same idea. So I'll call out to myself what I see, like three of the triangles, and then I'll add it, but not in the same way. So I'm just going to try and add three triangles. Now I've got these two little wing triangle ideas. I'm going to add those. To me, because I said wing, they more seem like wings. So that's how I'll add them today. The legs, they're bowed and they're long. Maybe I don't want to add them that way, or if I do, I'll put them in a place where they don't really belong, like over here. Because now her body is really thrown off center. We would usually expect to see it underneath the center of that body, but now they're off to the side, so I think that's good. I'm going to give her the neck. Just add that there. She has this rainbow-shaped mouth, this kind of fish pout. I'm going to add it a bit more exaggerated. I'm just a little off-center. I don't mind her nose being that little nose shape there, so I'll keep it. And then the eyes. This one's a bit bigger than this one. We were kind of working on that slight 3/4 before, but this time I'm really going to exaggerate that, and this eye is going to be big. It might even go off the edge of the page, and this one can be pretty regular. The way that we did the pupil in there, I might want to do that the same, or I could just keep it a little bit more simple, especially with abstract kind of work. I don't find it necessary to add too much detail. I will kind of keep them the same though, just changing the size and the wonkiness, I guess. I do like that eyelid look, so I'm going to add the eyelids. And she has freckles. I don't think I'll add the freckles in, or the eyebrows. Her little bangs, I do like her little bangs, but I'm going to put them on just off to the side here. And then all of her hair. We haven't put her ears on yet. I'll put one ear up here. One ear down there. I mean, she's already looking very abstract. We're just using it as inspiration. Honestly, I mean, if you're trying to get to this, I would just suggest do this tutorial. But we're just looking at some of the things you can exaggerate or kind of move around. Really, when it comes down to it, a lot of art is just trying something and then reinventing it in the same fashion, but just changing the proportion or the placement. And I do this exercise a lot with most of the classes I teach, just to be able, not the abstracting, but like proportion and placement, just so you can see that, you know, we're obviously taking it into really big extremes here, but just making subtle changes the same way by picking out elements and picking out ideas or picking out what you can see and slightly deriving it into a different version is how style evolves and changes and how you can learn a lot about it. So we have these little looped pigtails that I want to add. I might even add another one down here. And here. And we have those little fins. Just going to add them the way that I see them. I might even try and fill some of the negative space around the page. We don't have arms on her yet, but I think just to keep it a little bit more simplified, I'm just going to add the arms that she does have. We don't have to abstract everything, I guess. Put her little fins on the arms. And I think that would be good. I don't know if we need to go further than that. I am going to put the ground a little bit lower than her feet, so it almost looks like she's levitating off the ground. Just adding another little element to her abstraction. And I'm going to give it a bit of color, because I can. We've got extra time, so I think I'm just going to color some of it in. I've got a mild liner here. It must have some purple on it. I'm going to color it in ways that I probably wouldn't normally color it in either, so I'm not going to make the pupil black, I'm going to make it purple. And I might mix up the mediums that I use to color it in as well. Or even just, you know, where I would color it in. Maybe I want blue, but I want it around the eyes. And I could mimic that same shading technique we did over there where we leave that spot above the eye open. We have drawn a lid on, so this is essentially creating a double lid. But I do that a lot in my work, and I don't think it's a problem. If you're having any of those creative frenzy thoughts where like, oh, maybe I could add this, or mine's starting to look like this, what if I went in that direction? Absolutely go for it. Remember, a lot of what I'm showing you is to get you started. You can choose when you want to stop. You don't have to just do it for 10 minutes and then leave your journal. In fact, many people just start with the 10-minute video and then take as long as they want and just enjoy their time at their desk, and I think that's perfectly fine. This is not a race. I just want you to be able to get something done in 10 minutes if you don't have longer. Putting some of that shading on there, and then I'm going to erase my highlight with the little pencil eraser. So even my approach to rendering this is going to be somewhat abstract. Maybe I don't want to color in certain areas, I just want to put cross-hatching or some line work. Maybe instead of filling it with color, you fill it with pattern. Maybe you really want something to pop. So color it with a really bold color. Red. I love red. Maybe she wants red cheeks as well. This is not going to be for everyone, but I think everyone can benefit from playing this way. I used to stay away from anything like this, and just for the pure fact that I didn't really love the effect. It wasn't something that I wanted to be creating, and I think that's fine, but loosening myself up this way actually made me more confident to play this way. There are benefits to getting outside of your comfortable practices, And sometimes it can just be fun. It's actually a lot less stressful than creating a finished piece that you're expecting to be good, because you typically go into this with zero expectations, and that is always a fun way to play. And I hope that you go into these page in 10 videos with zero expectations as well, because I certainly don't expect you to do anything except start and see what happens. I don't even expect you to start. You could just watch if you want. I would like you to start though. I think it'd be fun for us to do it together, but it is up to you. I hope, if anything, you just see that all these blank pages in your journals can be filled. Should they be filled? I don't know. That's completely personal preference, really. I wouldn't tell anyone they had to do something they didn't want to do. But I like to fill them. And I like to make my journal a creative place, or my planner, really. A creative place that I want to come back to a lot, so that I can enjoy opening it and seeing not just the work that I have to do, but a lot of the creativity I get to have while I do it. Maybe I will put some freckles on. Oh, and just like that, we're finished. Finish up some freckles. And there you have it, our abstract piece. Is it the most abstract in the world? No, I don't think it would be Picasso level abstract. There are actually lots of different forms of abstraction, and there's lots of different approaches and techniques. A lot of them are really fun to try. I've actually tried the Picasso kind of abstract where you're looking at the same thing from a bunch of different angles and putting it all together. I actually found that to be quite difficult. In the way that I think I like to do it is a very simplified approach, much like everything I do, really. I just like to take elements that I'm noticing, and this is where I think it's actually really fun, because you could notice something different, but the technique is kind of the same. You notice something and then you exaggerate it. You either make it a lot bigger or you put it in a different place. It's all about proportion and placement, and you're going to have to change one of those things at the least, but you could change both, and the more adventurous you are with that, the more abstract of a result you're going to get. So it's kind of like a spectrum. Some people will slide along that and make a lot bolder choices and a lot more exaggerated choices, and then some people will make them just slightly, and it really will result in something completely different every time. So hopefully you enjoyed just having a bit of a sneak peek into that process. Yes, there is so much more theory that goes into almost everything, but I don't think we need to worry too much about that. I think at the end of the day, the best thing you can always do is get your hands moving and learn from doing. So hopefully you've had a good time doing that today. I will see you again in another Page in 10 video sometime soon. Goodbye.